everyone. I'm John Kenlog, Senior Vice President at Ensemble IQ and publisher of Drugstore News. I'm with Megan Timberlake, SVP, Procter & Gamble, Walmart Sales, and North America Sustainability. Hi, Megan. Thanks for being here.
Hi, good morning. Great way to start the day together to be on. Thank you.
So retailers and suppliers more than ever are aligning to make sure that the products on the shelf and the store itself reflects the values of the shopper. So with that in mind, how important is sustainability when it comes to today's consumer making a decision to buy a product?
Yeah, I think probably you could think about your own purchase considerations, and 9 out of 10 or 90% of us know that we want products that are sustainable. So this is not a small thing anymore. It is a major focus for most of us, and that's a great thing. We all need to be focused on this for the future of our planet. Yet the opportunity is 11% of us, so quite a gap, actually do something about that desire. So, why this is so important for us at Procter & Gamble is because it's important to our consumer. It's important to our employees. It's important to our communities. And so, our approach is really to make this core and central to our strategy and how we do things on our products, how we use our media voice, and really have it as an embedded part of our strategy, simply because it's important for our consumers and the planet that we all share. So we have a big opportunity, I think, together to get the 90% intention versus the 11% action gap to close, and that's what we're focused on.
All right. So with that in mind, how can retailers and CPG companies, because it can't just be Procter & Gamble, everybody's got to get on board with this. How can retailer and supplier partner to influence that consumer behavior, what they buy, and at the same time, grow the market basket and drive trips?
That's right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is a focus area for so many in our industry. It's not one that's needs to be competitive. It's one that everyone needs to focus on to have the greatest impact. And I'm really encouraged to see that. I think it is front and center in the CPG industry right now, and I think that's terrific. That's how we'll make the greatest impact together. I think about our product portfolio and the 11 categories that we operate in. These are daily use categories. And if you think about that intention action gap I mentioned earlier, if we are able to make our everyday use categories both superior performance that grows the market, as you said, but also sustainable, and there's not this choice between, we can have great impact together. And certainly then when we partner with retailers to make these, the fact that there is no trade-off, that a product can be both superior and sustainable, and do that with retailers and put that in front of our joint consumer, we win and we can have together greater impact. So, I think we've really moved to a place now that we need to be thinking about sustainability as not niche, and it's not for a few, it's for all. And again, 90% want it. So how do we, as an industry, and certainly within what we control at P&G, our goal is that we would make that accessible to all, and therefore have the impact we all aspire to.
Well, that's really interesting what you just said, not niche. And you mentioned daily use categories. I think sometimes I know the way it is for myself. I ask myself, am I really making a difference?
Yeah.
But the terms you just put it in, a daily use category, you mentioned 11 categories. The impact, the amalgamation of all that is substantial.
Correct.
And I think that's something that consumer needs to hear, but it can't just be you telling them that. Everyone's got to tell them that, including them.
Well, and I think we both have, both the supplier and the consumer have a responsibility. I mean, we know from the science behind the life cycle assessments of where the real impact can come from. On our side, it comes from the making of the products, the energy, the raw materials that we are able to use, and how do you reduce the energy needed. But then on the consumer side, things like cold water washing, versus warm, educating on that, turning off the tap, if you're shaving or if you're brushing your teeth. So there's, the energy needed to produce products, but then the energy consumers use in their homes to get the product performance. Both of those things come together. So that's where I think the education process is in play. Because again, daily use categories, if we make them right and people use them right, think about how quickly that can add up.
Yeah, what a great message. It makes everybody feel like they're making a difference. I love that. So can you provide a couple of examples of partnerships that P&G has entered into to advance sustainability?
Sure. Yeah, there are many, and the list is growing. And I just, again, it speaks to I think the importance that this topic has within our industry. But to name a few, one right now that is top of mind for me as I think about packaging. Our packaging commitments for 2030 say that we aspire and will deliver a 50% reduction in virgin plastic in our products, but also then that 100% of our products would be either reusable or recyclable. So terrific goals, and we aspire and will deliver. But to make that happen, that is broader than just, what we can do. So partnerships are required. So the recycling partnership that we have here in the US, we've been together with that organization over 10 years now, because it's really important that as suppliers set goals, we need to have the right infrastructure in place in this country in terms of the recycling systems, the collection processes, that are in place, and the types of materials, and expanding that broader so that we can, have the impact we want. So the recycling partnership is a great example of that on what things can come together to achieve those goals. I give another one on the alliance that we have, the Alliance for Water Stewardship. We're a member of that consortium, which brings together, companies and NGOs, but also the public sector. And again, our water goals are very important. In fact, we know right now the global population, already a third, live in water stressed areas. I mean, turn on the news, we see it every day. By 25, 2/3 of the global population is projected to live in a water stressed area. And so what are we doing? Well, across the water stress basins across the world, there's 18 of them that we've really highlighted as how are we going to, in the areas we operate there, produce or conserve, I should say, more than we use to produce our items. So that is an important goal that we have set as part of our 2030 commitments. But again, then being part of a broader effort with NGOs, the public sector, and other companies, we all need to make progress as it relates to water, and we believe partnerships are a big part of that. So we can do our part, but we want to be part, of a bigger, broader effort.
So Megan, can you expand a little bit more on P&G Good Every Day?
Sure. So P&G Good Every Day is a consumer-facing platform. So we're really looking to engage those that buy our products every day and rewarding those purchases back into a force for good component. And so as consumers then engage on this platform, they're able to learn more about the brands they've purchased, our company initiatives, and then put those purchases to work, where then we then in turn make donations. So for example, the Arbor Day Foundation, we've been able to take these consumer purchases and then turn those into a donation of over 30,000 trees. And then as we think about, educating youth who we know are going to be the future consumers that are going to do this important work as well, over 400,000 youth education packets have been distributed as a result of P&G's Good Everyday platform. So a good way to engage not just with the partners that we have in the industry and the NGOs and the public sector, but also really engaging our consumers to do this work with us.
Yeah, get them engaged, keep them engaged, and make them feel like they're making a difference.
That's right. And give them a way to get educated as well for those that we know want to learn more and see how their purchases, can turn into positive impact.
Well, you're a global company, so I'm not surprised that you're making a global effort. And I think you get credit from the shopper for doing that. Because again, I think they like to know that they're playing a role, but it's not just about them. It's happening everywhere, and it seems more
That's right.
important and more impact. And it's part of that whole idea of being regenerative. Is that
That's right.
correct? Right.
Correct. Yes, that's a very important word as well. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Good. All right. So, final question.
Sure.
What can companies like P&G and the other retail partners that you have do to educate consumers about sustainability? Because I think a lot of times companies like Procter & Gamble, companies like Walmart and others make a terrific effort, but the consumer doesn't always know about it. They just go to the store and they buy what they buy and they bring it home and it works and they're happy.
Yeah.
But what do we do to educate them?
Good thought. Because I kind of go back to where I started this discussion, in that it shouldn't be a trade-off. So one of the things that we've seen so important to consumers across this country over the last, really several years is, value being front and center. Inflation has been high, pocketbooks can be tight. And so consumers are looking to save money. Great. In terms of how does that come together with sustainability, though, having sustainability available for all, things like the cold water washing example that I gave you earlier. Well, in fact, what we found was we were able to connect, not only is it better and more sustainable, but by washing in cold water, you could save up to $150 a year off your electric bills at home, off your gas bills, you name it. And that is a meaningful amount of, dollars for a consumer to have. So instead of knowing that, and, boy, we're telling consumers that. So it's do the right thing and save. So it's not the trade-off. It comes together of, you have a superior performing product. Here's how to use it to get that end result. And working with retailers to put that message or that claim right in front of consumers so they know they can use less, turn to cold water and save money. And so that, I think, is something where if we can more and more share with consumers how this is good for the planet, good for their pocketbooks, but also can help save money, as I said, that is a powerful message. So we're looking to do more and more of that.
Yeah, well, I think whether you're a multi-billion-dollar company or a consumer, everyone wants to do well and everyone wants to do good.
Who doesn't like to save money?
Yeah.
There's plenty to spend it on. So yeah, I agree.
That makes sense to me. Well, this is great. Thank you. I know Climate Week is coming up. I know that yes, Procter & Gamble plays a huge role in that. So we look forward to reporting on your efforts and doing this again. Megan Timberlake from Procter & Gamble, Walmart team, North America Sustainability. Thank you so much for doing this, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank
you for the time. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you again soon as well. Thanks for the time today. Appreciate the invite.